I've been a YouTube editor for 5 years now. Over these 5 years, I've edited more than 1,000 shorts and more than 100 long-form videos. My journey first started from editing really bad Destiny 2 videos and getting paid a whopping $25 for a video that would literally take me a month to where I am now, working with YouTubers who have millions of subscribers. In this video, I'm going to be sharing my experience over these 5 years and explain what I did each year to get where I'm at currently. Things like what to expect for the first few years, what I did to get these big clients, and most importantly, what you should be avoiding. And trust me, there is a lot. Alright, year one. So I wanted to learn editing. I quickly found out there are 3 popular softwares people usually use: Final Cut Pro, DaVinci Resolve, and Premiere Pro. Yeah, no, I used After Effects. After Effects is not meant for editing. It's meant for motion graphics and animation. Do not start with this if you want to learn how to edit. Thankfully, I switched from using that to Premiere Pro after 2 years. 2 years! God, I will never forgive myself for that. As expected, first learning any editing software is going to be hard at first. The first few weeks for me were kind of like this. Huh? After a month of doing that though, it got a lot easier. But the videos I made, yeah, they weren't the greatest. But I really did enjoy making them at the time. Because of that, I was motivated to make more and more videos, even if they look like that. If you're new to making videos, don't expect them to be good. We all know that dumb overused quote.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
It's true though. Don't be discouraged if your first videos look like this. I mean, come on. Look at these old videos from YouTube's biggest creators.
I'm Wonder Woman. Man, a rash is supposed to be green.
Thinks I'm an idiot. Whoa. Oh, I almost survived.
No! It takes time to be good at this. If you expect to make an Oscar-winning feature film the first time you lay your hands on a keyboard, you got some serious problems there, buddy. And that's pretty much how my first year went. Just a lot of until I got the basics down. Moving on to year 2. After learning as much as I could and making some questionable videos, I wanted to edit other people's content. I was having fun making my own videos, and I thought, hey, maybe I should make videos for other people. So what I ended up doing was looking at my favorite creators at the time. I came across Mr. Beast and saw that he was looking for video editors. I applied and showed him my resume of my own personal work, and in the same week, I got the job. That was a complete lie. I started working on Fiverr. For those who don't know, Fiverr is like the Wish.com of freelance work. And yet again, this was another big mistake. Even worse than editing with After Effects. But that's not the point here. You'll know why this is a terrible mistake in a minute. But first, I want to explain the experience I had with Fiverr. I had zero clue what I was doing, so I thought it was a great idea to sign up to Fiverr and look for work. Even better, you know those Destiny 2 clips I was talking about? Yeah, I put those on there in my portfolio, thinking that was awesome. And look at my thumbnail. I ended up making a gig. It's pretty much just a post to advertise your work. It took me like 5 minutes to make. All I had to do was wait for my first client. This didn't go to plan at all. I thought to myself if I was even good enough for this. After no responses for 2 months, it really discouraged me. I looked at other Fiverr editors and I saw that they were doing the same exact thing I was doing. I even felt like I was doing better. I'll just find something else I'm good at. This completely got me from surprise. This was my first client. I was excited and started working on the video immediately. It was a game called Team Fortress 2. I loved games at the time, so I thought, why not? And after a month, yes, a month, I made this.
Oh shit!
Anyways, after that, I ended up getting a message from a company that needed editors. Our job was to make video game highlights for their app. It was kind of like TikTok, but only for gamers. They even had their own editing software, which in my honesty, was really bad. I was getting paid $6 an hour, and I worked 8 hours a day, 7 days a week. I worked with them for about 6 months. A month in, I ended up getting promoted to a manager. I was overlooking all the editors. And by the way, they paid me $12 an hour. That's not even minimum wage for me. Yeah, no manager should be getting paid this little for managing a team of 20 people. So the most expected thing happened. I had enough, and I put in my 2 weeks. That didn't work well for me at all. The moment the word got around that I was quitting, I was flooded with messages. It got so bad that even the owner of the company wanted to have a meeting with me. He offered me a lot more money if I were to stay. And even worse, he even offered to fire someone to put me in a higher position.
Just hear me out, please.
And all for what? To actually start paying me minimum wage? Yeah, no. After those 2 weeks, I was gone. I ended up on good terms with everyone. And if I got something out of this, it was a perfect example of what you should avoid. Don't work for dirt cheap. You'll attract these Wish.com work for pennies people. Better than the $25 a month I was getting at first though. Jesus. Moving on to year 3. This year happened to be my biggest year when it came to my progression. Still at this time, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I just loved making videos. I found out there was this other freelance website called Upwork. I moved there and I had a lot of solid work behind me now. And obviously I got rid of those Destiny 2 clips. The great thing about Upwork was that work was fast for me. Small companies, advertisements, podcasts, gaming highlights. Every client I got was something different. And on top of that, all of this work was paying me decent. But none of it was really creatively demanding. And it got boring really quick. I had to edit a video once with this old man in it. I checked the raw footage and I'm serious when I tell you this. He just stared at the camera for like 2 to 3 minutes. The only thing they said in the description was make it black and white and put sad music over it. Like, what the f? And just like this old man, I felt like I was going nowhere too. I was worried that this was the end of the road again for me. I wanted to find something fun to edit, something that can challenge me. This is where my real journey started. I was introduced into YouTube editing. I saw a post about how a finance channel needed an editor. I don't know why I never thought about editing for a YouTube channel, but better late than never. Over the course of this year, I worked with 4 YouTube channels. 3 were entertainment and 1 was this finance channel. It blew my mind with the amount of views some of these YouTubers got. No, it wasn't Mr. Beast types of views, but at the time, 10,000 views for a video that I made was really cool to see. Because of this, I quickly began to learn everything about YouTube. Pacing, transitions, color correction, color grading, musical choices, animation, and my personal favorite, storytelling. I became super obsessed with YouTube, and at this exact moment started the biggest jump in my career, which leads me to year 4. At this point, I felt like a YouTube crackhead. Wake up, edit, learn as much as I could, then sleep. No, seriously, that's all I did this year. Not only did I learn a lot more, but this was the first time after 3 years when I thought, hey, you know, I'm actually kind of good at this. All this experience made me realize what made a good video now. I talked to dozens of creators, learned as much as I could, and I felt like I was ready to do more. Because of that, I decided I should start reaching out to bigger creators. I wanted to work with creators not with tens of thousands of subscribers, but hundreds, or even millions. One of my past clients told me to apply to a huge educational content channel. They had an open position for an editor. This content creator was interviewing around 40 other editors. I applied with the experience that I had, and I got an interview. It was a quick 10-minute interview, and out of the 40 plus people he had interviewed, he chose me. And before you say, oh well, you just got this job because of that referral, they didn't even know each other, and they were in completely different niches. He just randomly brought it up and said that he likes his content and thought maybe I should apply. So what did I do to land this job? Sadly, I don't think I can tell you how I did it. I need to gatekeep this knowledge. I just saw a huge problem in their video and told them exactly what they were lacking. Now, what I'm going to say is going to be very interesting. After I got the job, I asked why they chose me out of the 40 other people. They said that they didn't even look at my portfolio. They just noticed my attention to the small details, and they never saw the problems that I found. For them, the problem that they had was sound design. It sounded really cheap, and it was really repetitive. I even told them the exact sound effect that they were using, and from what sound library. The videos would flow better if they had used better sounds, and I told them to never use those ever again. When you've been editing for years, you definitely get this intuition for what's wrong versus what's right, like holding a scene for too long. Because of that, they immediately gave me an interview. Not only did I have the knowledge, but I was able to apply what I had said into their videos. With the first video that I made, I had proved to them that I can make a great video. The next day, they brought me to their team. This was the beginning of the year, so I spent the rest of this year getting better and working with this team. Now, this is a really important part if you want to become an editor. Although I did have a portfolio, this wasn't the reason why I got this big client. Yes, your first client is always going to be hard, especially if you're new, but that's literally how it works for every freelance job. I felt like the reason why clients wanted me outside of my portfolio was because I was solving problems. Especially with editing, there's always something that can be better. Problems with pacing, audio, sound effects, visuals, motion graphics, comedic timing. I was able to tell my clients what they were doing wrong in their videos. This shocked a lot of my clients, and sometimes I would get hired immediately, but most of the time, I didn't even get hired. Yes, that sounds bad, but although I didn't get hired, they referred me to other people, which referred me to other people, until eventually I got a big client. My strategy hasn't changed ever since I started doing this. Identify a problem and give them a solution. Now when I look for editors, I usually skip who they worked for, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who they worked for. What matters is if they can do the job and do it right. Year 5. When I first joined, there was only 3 of us, and now we have 11. Most of the team are video editors, and just like the first company I worked for, I was managing a team, but this time properly. I pretty much just give them a lot of feedback on the videos, small tweaks on things I want changed, and maybe some goofing around.
Can also cut the wow here.
I want to keep the wow.
If we have to though, cut it.
You're gonna have to fight me for that then. By the way, this is Frame.io. If you have a team of editors, I would totally recommend Frame. No, I'm not sponsored. It's a great platform to talk to your team and leave comments. It's super simple and easy to use. I use this every day. 10 out of 10 would recommend it. But besides Frame, this was another year full of progression. In these 2 years working with my team, we've doubled our subscriber and view count, and it's only growing faster and faster each year. I often think about how difficult my journey was in the beginning. From getting paid $25 for a video that would take me a month, or the $6 I got paid for working almost 60 hours a week. Without all these road bumps, I wouldn't be where I'm at now. I'd probably still be editing in After Effects. What I find awesome is that even to this day, I'm still learning a lot, and I have a lot more to learn. I'm just glad I'm not making these videos anymore.